Hi guys, I'm Ashif Ali and watching CGHOW video. Today we'll make the water material in Unreal Engine 5. So let's start this tutorial. So let's start this. So I will open the Unreal Engine 5.5 and let's take a new level. I'll take this one, open world, and let's come, then I'll save it and let's make a folder. Water material, because this tutorial is water material, and I'll just call it map. And yeah, you can browse this. So this is the map. And first I will just add some rocks inside it, and then we will make the water stream inside that. So that this process I will just fast forward. So because this is just a material tutorial, water material, so I'll just fast forward this. So I'm done with this. Now I will put some water here. So for that, let me just browse this and let's take a Niagara. You can also use direct planar, but I'll just use Niagara and I'll call it NS water. So inside this, Emitter is not working. I'll just take another. Cool, so it's working. And what I'll do, I'll just delete all these modules and I'll just spawn once and I'll take the burst, make the life infinite. And this is just a one particle like this, and this non-uniform. So we can increase the size like this, and I'll make this not rotation. And this is radial, so I'll just remove the material. So this is now this, and we have to also, this is camera facing, so custom alignment, custom facing vector, and I'll take the align to mesh orientation. Instead of X, take the Z, and this is what you have. And let's make this local and drag it into the viewport, and we have to scale it. So this will be like 2000, and this will be like 10,000. Right. Select it here. Instead of this, you can also use mesh if you want like some distortion in the mesh. So let's say I have I think I should have a high res planar. So let me check static mesh and planar. This one, planar high res. And if I open this, so this is just a planar, and if I show you, this is quite high res. So I'll browse this and here delete this, take the mesh and that planar, and now we will use, instead of this, mesh size non-uniform. So let's say 200, 500, and see. Yeah, length is thick. Okay, just the width is too high, so I'll make this 150, or maybe just cool. Cool. So now we can work on this. Let's make a material for this. So I'll browse this, save all, and make a material. M water. And 01 because we will make multiple layers. Okay. So this high-res mesh just I am using to add WPO. Otherwise, you can use just a sprite. So if you think this is quite heavy, so you can avoid this. So let's say first thing here, let's make this specular burn roughness 0, and this is what we have, and this will be translucent and default lit and opacity almost 0. Okay, so I'll just save it, browse this, and I'll use that here. So let it compile. Oh, did I just made it? Oh, when you are making it translucent, you should go down and make this like volume. So all these will be visible, volume or power shading, whatever you want. Okay, so now I will save it. And before saving, I'll also do one thing. I want to add the collision, like interaction edge. So for that, let's take the depth fade and just invert it. And I want to add it on the opacity and also here. So I will add this on the opacity. So I'll just take the lerp and I want this to like 0.5, 0.1. And also you can like multiply with the color, or you, if you want just a white, you can use that. And I'll connect this. And this is the how much thickness of the width. Let's use 20 for now and let's save it. So now you can see it has this interaction edge. Cool. And now I want to add something here. Okay, and I need a normal map for that. So I'll take the normal texture. Let me find, I think. Yeah, this one, or maybe this one. So I'll just use this and I'll use it and web preview. I'll just add a banner 0.5. And let's also use refraction. So I'll just turn this on. And for the refraction, I'll just use a texture. Maybe I'll use blur noise, this one, and use the same banner. And then lerp, maybe 2. And let's check. So now we have lots of things, but this texture tiling is quite high. So to fix that, what I'll do actually, let's make a texture coordinate and multiply and take a dynamic parameter and append, or you can just avoid this and take the 2 vector parameter, let's call it tile. And if I'll go here, okay, and we can just take the append or shift C and just connect here. So it will take by default action Y, and you can also change the name here. So this will be like tile X and tile Y. Cool. So I'll just save it and right click, make an instance and use that here, site material. Then we can open this and we have these. So 5 and 5. And now you can see which direction we can use, and also we can now make more parameters like refraction. So I'll just call it ref 1 by default or maybe 1.2. Okay, and a part of this you can also use the banner. So I'll just say that time multiply, connect there, and this is a pen and default setting 1. Then let's save it. Now we have full control. Like pen and refraction, so we can decrease the refraction like this much. Okay, and then pen, we can increase or decrease like this much. And I want to make this part little darker, which is like under the water. So you can also make a decal, and first I'll add some more thing on this. I'll make it little down this much. And let's not use opacity that much, so I'll just make this up and okay, and I'll also add a texture. Maybe I'll use this aura, this one, and we can just add it on the emissive. So I will add here, and then of course pan, and again multiply, and I'll copy this, and this time I'll use these two channels for the tiling, and I'll call this tile X. I'll call it noise, and then tile by noise. Okay. It's not taking that. This is not. This should take actually blue one. It's okay if not taking. I'll remove that, and let's tile add noise. Default setting I'll put 1 again, and I'll take the append vector, connect these, and for the panel I will again use this one. Let's save it. So it's saved. Now we have this, and let me open instance. I think this much. And for the opacity, and also I am adding it, so I will use a power, and you can call it noise dissolve that I'm adding. And also I will make up opacity. Actually, I'll like to make opacity minimum and maximum. So this is opacity max. And this is 1. Then opacity min. And this is like 2. Okay. So let's save it again. So now let's see. And then we can control it how much we need. And then this is opacity, how much you want, like this much. Okay. And one more thing I would like, after power I will use this noise value. So how much I want. Let's make it 1. Then one more thing. I'll use this noise and I'll use the same tiling and all thing. And panner and same panner. But I will increase the speed like 0.7. Then I will use this noise to distort this aura texture. So I will add on it this thing, but before adding, I will multiply this noise. I have to make some space and then add. And I'll make a parameter. This will be noise distort. Let it be 0. But let's save it. So now what I have noise value. So I can remove it like this. And let's increase it. Then I can distort it. So it will have more fluid behavior. Now I can remove a little bit. Cool. And then we have this opacity that all. And then I would like to make this depth distance. So this will be like interaction edge thickness. Okay. And this is going here. Okay. So like interaction by default 20. And I'll save it. Now we can increase this interaction like this much. But this interaction is looks like very hard. So we can decrease that. And how to decrease that? This color is actually the interaction. So I'll just make a parameter interaction color edge color. And yeah, let's save it. So now we have this. We can just make it a little darker. And I'll use this also. And this interaction is also very straight, so we can do one thing. This is a depth fade, and what we can do actually, let me make some space. So this is the value that's going. So we can actually multiply this interaction edge with this noise. Let's save it. Yeah. So it's now has some, and I think it's quite fast. So I will decrease the panel. And we can also make our rocks a little big. It will look good. And it's already looking like water stream. If you want, you can add little specular on it. So you had this with the power that you were adding. So you can actually make a separate layer of this. Again, take a power and then again multiply it. And then again add here. But you will have a separate control for these two. So let's say I'll copy and paste this and make it 2. And for this, I'll make it 2. save it. Let's save it. Now, because we have these two parameter, noise value 2 and dissolve 2, I'll make it 1 or maybe 3. And then we have this value that we can increase or decrease, but with this we can decrease this. So we will have very sharp lines, and then we can increase this thing or decrease little bit. And we have this dissolve that we can control how much we want. And I think that looks already cool. One last thing we forgot, this is why we use the high-res mesh, that planar. So for that, you can just multiply this noise texture that you used with the vertex normal, and then multiply it again, and you can call it WPO. Connect this and this here, and let's apply. And now if I open my instance, I can actually make this little bit like this. It has more variation than, not that much, but yeah, looks good. I hope you like this for now. Thanks for watching. Keep learning. Bye bye.